And you gotta like hustle over. Oh my gosh. We need to hire somebody just to start that and stop it.
I know, we need a like a production assistant or something.
Your whole job is just to hit that record button over there and then stop it when we wink at you.
Weirdly enough, we'll make sure it's somebody who gets that. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
New setup again.
Yeah, we do something new every time.
We should suspend from the ceiling next time.
That would be awesome.
Just like levitate.
Yeah, just do like a Spider-Man version where we just hang from somewhere and just look at each other from upside down. Yeah, this is an interesting setup. I kind of like it. It definitely gives us a little more in the like being aware that we're being videotaped.
I know.
It's just thinking about the audio
now. I like how you were saying a second ago that it's like a newsroom now. Almost.
Yeah. I think if we had any particular news to talk about, it would make more sense. But do you have any news? Any news going on? I don't know. I don't pay attention to anything. I know people are pissed about stuff and angry. They're always arguing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't even read the news that much.
Yeah.
It's so depressing. I don't know. I guess if I'm feeling really happy and I'm like, well, I gotta level myself out. I'll just read the news. Let's hop on.
Yeah. You're like, oh man, it seems like life is going all normal, and then what's going on in the world? They must be having a great time. And no,
the world's in a dire situation, probably. I think the only time I read the news is somebody's like, oh my god, did you see that thing on the news? And I'm like, no. And then I'll inevitably read it so that I have context to what he's talking about. But I'm not an avid reader.
Yeah, there's some shit going on in like ISIS is a thing, and that's a problem, and that doesn't affect me, so whatever.
Not yet.
There's probably an election coming out for
2016.
2016, so next year.
Presidential election.
Presidential.
That'll be next year's.
Yeah.
Big thing.
I think that's why I like being anti-government is I don't need to be, I'm not on a side anymore. I'm not like a liberal or a conservative.
And I think that yourself
all of it's just
chains.
Yeah, from the chains of like social identity.
A beautiful butterfly that's just fluttered out of the cocoon of government.
What? Yes, I like it. Yeah. Yes, I'm a butterfly.
Anytime that an analogy makes me a butterfly,
then I'm good. I think that's the best analogy, essentially.
It is. I think it's the simplest analogy, too.
Yeah.
I was just a helpless little caterpillar. Mm-hmm. And then I was confined into a cocoon by an oppressive force, and then I broke free. Mm-hmm. Now I'm beautiful. Mm-hmm. I'm free.
Look at my
little fucking kids want to catch me and pull my wings off because they're assholes. So.
Mm-hmm. Do they do that still?
No, probably. There's serial killers out there getting their starts every day, so they start somewhere. The pleasure of tearing apart a living creature.
Murdering bugs.
Yeah.
Bugs, and then it graduates to cats, and then dogs, and then deer.
And then young women.
Yeah. That's the progression. That's how Dexter did it, except for he didn't murder young women. He murdered murderers.
Yeah, I was actually just talking about Dexter with somebody earlier.
Yeah.
About how people would say, oh man, I love Dexter. And like, why would you love that? He's a serial killer. He's a sociopath.
Because he's pretty.
And he murders people. Like, I get that he's murdering people that did bad stuff and they deserve it, I guess. But he's still a fucking killer. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, he's evil as shit.
Yeah.
He's a psychopath. He doesn't care about anyone. He just happens to, like, hone his thing into murdering bad guys. But, I mean, they haven't been convicted, and he could be wrong. So, that's a good way to make a show, where you're going to be back and forth all the time on whether or not you like it.
It was a pretty good show. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining, but I don't think at any point I was like, wow, what an upstanding guy. What a really cool guy. I want to know him.
Yeah, I don't. He wasn't a character I'd ever want to be friends with or whatever. But he was. The acting in that fucking show was great. I mean, they did a really great job, and the suspense, is he going to get caught? Was like, every episode essentially. So.
I know, but at the same time, you're always like, he's not going to get caught. Yeah. What would the show do at that point?
Well, he was so ahead of the game every time. He knew everything that was going to happen. So
happens when you're a police officer, I guess. You get the inside info that you need.
Well, he wasn't really a police officer, but He worked in
blood
the police
spatter
department.
analyst, whatever.
Analyst.
He still worked analyst.
He mostly all
specialize
the
in
blood
blood
splatter
splatter.
in and around the anus. That's my specialization. So like they like call him in and they're like, "Oh, we got a job for you," and he's like, "Is it in or around the anus?" I only work with blood splatter around.
No,
the
I think his
anus.
question would be, is it in or around?
Yeah.
He'd be like, and then like the first couple of cases, it's in or around, and then it gets to this point where like, it's both.
It's everywhere.
It's fucking. It's exploding from.
It's did it go in or out of the? Where did this blood come from? Oh man, that would be
the season finale. Like
the season finale. Oh, it's
people are on the edge of their seat. Oh my god, I didn't know blood couldn't be just in or around to both.
And then he's just, you know how in the show he uses those little yarn pieces? It's just somebody like with their butt up in the air with just yarn coming from their asshole to the wall. So because there's just blood everywhere.
Or he has to hire like a special mannequin designer. No, I don't need facial.
I don't need
instructions.
pretend
I need you
faces.
to create fake buttocks.
It's just
and,
all
anal cavities.
all anus related murders. Just oh man, here in Florida we have just way too many anal related murders.
Just so many anal serial killers. No, not that they're like really clean. No, they murder from the anus.
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
reason.
I don't know, they got projectiles coming out. They just, they got AIDS. It's chemical warfare. They're shooting.
It'd be a dark show and really depressing, but it would be hilarious at the same time.
I don't think you could take that too seriously for too long.
What anal related murder is going to be on this episode? I'm curious.
That's what the name of the show would be, anal related murders. Anal related murders. And then it would just be all commercials for proctology and for anal fissures. Anal fissures. The right kind of fissures.
And condoms, I feel like, too. Do
Sure.
you ever need that extra lubrication? Well, we got you covered.
For
Literally.
condoms?
Yeah.
Lubed condoms? What's the point of a non-lubed condom? That sounds like a dumb idea. I guess if you are allergic to the
You're just a really confident guy. You're like, oh, I can need lube. That bitch is going to be soaked by the time I come around.
I guess that's you're so confident that you understand her biology.
No.
How could they not
I don't need lubricant. Come on.
Come on.
What, do I look like an asshole? I'm a pro.
I'm a pro, but I brought some anyway, just in case.
This little
You never know.
pocket vial of it that he's just got hanging out, just in case emergencies. She might have a cold or physical condition.
A cold? I don't know. Is that how that works? Man, I feel like I need to do some research right now.
Oh, you're all dry. You must have pneumonia? How did you know?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I totally have pneumonia.
100% of dryness comes from pneumonia. If you're dry, it's probably because you're sick. What's wrong with you?
Why are you attempting to have intercourse if you're not feeling well? You're just spreading the sickness. It becomes a commercial for the CDC and
oh yeah,
how to
that's
quarantine
funny.
sickness. Anyway,
Speaking of the CDC, I was doing a research. I was not a research. Like somebody asked me, like my teacher was like, "Hey, can you do some research?" But I on my own, I looked up the CDC, and what I wanted to know was, and I Googled, how effective is the CDC? Because the CDC stands for the Center for Disease Control. But do they control diseases? Are they effective? And all I could find was from the CDC website was who they are, which is that, and then they're massively funded by the government, so they're essentially a government agency. I just I don't know if they're classified that way, but they get like $15 billion a year in budget from the government, so from the federal government. So I was wondering, like, okay, they're getting all this money, and they're supposed to be helping us, like, society when it comes to infectious diseases and outbreaks and things, but are they doing a good job?
Yeah.
I don't even know what they do. So I couldn't find any information. When you Google, is the CDC effective, what you find is the flu vaccine effective? Because that's what they're best known for, is distributing the flu vaccine. And it has an effective rating, but that's not what I was looking up, so I didn't really care. Like, I assume it's fairly effective.
Yeah.
And the flu still kills a lot
we're
of people.
$15 million effective. That's how effective we are. What if they? What if their job wasn't just to prevent diseases, but to spread them as well? They're like,
Which
We're a center for disease control, which means we control who gets sick and who doesn't, who we're going to cure. We need more AIDS in Africa, so we're going to disinfect some more people with that. We'll put it
through their anus.
Yeah. They're just like a really shady organization. They could do like a House of Cards TV show, but it's like all about CDC.
The House of CDC.
Trying to work his way up the ranks to be the I was gonna say CEO, but it's not like a business that somebody runs, I don't think.
Yeah, somebody runs it. I mean, there's probably like a person in charge.
Yeah, but it's just about him rising up the ranks and like deciding who's gonna get sick where and who's gonna get healed.
I just watched have you ever watched Last Week with God damn it, what the fuck is that guy's name?
Is it that Last Week Today show?
Yeah, Last Week Today.
I know what it is. I've never watched it though, but I've seen commercials and such.
And oh man, I love the guy who does it. I can't believe I'm spacing on his name. I'm thinking Jon Stewart because they mentioned him on the last episode I watched. But it's on HBO. It's a really great show. It's like a news show. So I guess I do watch the news, but it's through that lens. It's like,
is it like a comedic take?
It's a comedic take, but it's very like sharp and edgy because he's on HBO, so he can tell people they're being stupid. You know, like like he was making fun of Vladimir Putin on it last time. But I forgot why I mentioned it, and I give up.
Putin looks like a serial killer, just for the record.
He does kind of look like either a serial killer or an assassin or something.
Fuck around, like
he's obviously looks like a mafia.
Yeah,
kind of guy.
He's just a scary looking dude.
Yeah, I was listening to some information on like the history of Russia and how Russia. One of the big reasons why Putin is the way he is because he's interested in not being taken over again because Russia has been taken over by lots of different other governments throughout history, and like the SSR got broken up, and like everyone's like fighting for land and stuff. So Putin, like, what he wanted to do is be very strong and be very independent of all other nations and be, you know, and just run it the way he wanted to run it for his people. And so everyone's trying to like get in on his territory or like get him to approve things or get his help. And he's just like super, like no nonsense, like fuck everybody. We're gonna take care of ourselves in Russia. And his approval rating is huge. Like people love him there. I don't know if that's real or whatever. I don't know. And I don't
Russian propaganda that they've put into the
I mean, if somebody's doing some polls or something, but I think he's probably awesome, which is probably why we talk so much shit about him. He probably is doing something good for his people, as much as, you know, a psycho.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about it. I just mean physically, he just looks like a
he's a menacing looking dude.
Just murder. He's
like bald and
just
tall.
has like a whole belt of knives under his suit. With him all the time, and
obviously he probably does, and a gun and all that. There on the last week Today show. It's such an awkward name for a show. He was talking about how the national grading in Russia is. I hope Putin doesn't kill you today. Just I hope you don't die. I hope you don't get murdered. But anyway,
today I lived, so it's a good day. Approvals for him.
Yeah, that's good. As long another day in paradise, just like North Korea,
fucking,
you know,
cold, shitty paradise.
Well, it's not just like North Korea. Russia is. I know. Had mentioned it's not the same. I don't know.
It's true.
I don't know that much about North Korea, really.
I don't even know that much about America. I feel like so. I feel like people like to think that they do, but we probably don't.
We probably don't know about a lot of stuff.
No.
All the stuff they let us know is probably not most of it. That's a good way to just not to act like we just don't care. just to say we don't know,
I don't know,
and we'll never know. So why should we care?
All I know is that I'm here right now, just not trying to die. So
yeah, I am working hard on not dying right now.
Everybody
literally, like I'm very aware of imminent death, like in a car or walking down the street or just in my house. I assume I'm going to be murdered.
That whenever something exciting is happening in my life, like this is the day I'm going to die because like my the outlook of my day looks awesome. Yeah, there's going to be a wrench somewhere that's going to get thrown into the gears here. So
my happiness can only lead to disappointment and despair. So
it's I got to go somewhere to enjoy this thing. I'm going to die on the way there. I just know it.
That's terrible.
So you're just driving, just waiting for it to happen, and then it doesn't. And then you get to enjoy your day, and then you're like, I'm so silly.
Yeah, you don't die right then, but if you're worried about dying all the time, then you just keep thinking about it.
I only think about it every once in a while. If something seems too good to be true, I'm just like, I'm gonna die today. Like, why would this happen to me?
Oh man. Well, what if you were gonna die tomorrow?
I don't know.
Is there anything to do? Like, you can pretend like there's some, like, oh, I would do all this stuff, but really, would you? Would you? What does it matter?
I would probably just do, I don't know, just say, I guess it would be nice to know, and then I could just be like, I love you, person that I don't normally say that to because I'm going to die tomorrow, so I won't get a chance to do it later.
I feel like I need to burn something down if I was going to die tomorrow. Like, I don't know what it would be. Maybe like just like my signature in a football field. Like, just so there's some stupid news story so somebody would know that I died.
I might do something crazy if I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was for sure going to die tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think that I wouldn't because I'd be like, well, how do they know I'm going to die? Like, how do I know that I'm going to die? Like, and so I think that I would be, like, if some guy just walked up to you and was like, I'm God, you're going to die tomorrow. Like, just straight up. You'd just be like, oh, thank you. Bye. Have a good day. And then you would just probably go about your day. You'd probably reflect on it and be like, oh, that guy was really weird. And like, I feel kind of nervous now and uncomfortable. And, but people probably, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do anything different.
And there's so many stories of people getting, you're going to die in 6 months and they live like 4 years. So I don't know.
They even have those dumb like online quizzes where they're like, oh, take this quiz and find out when you're going to die. And what? And then people take them, and then I hope that they don't take them seriously because it'd be weird.
No, I couldn't imagine. Though, how nobody knows when you're gonna die.
I don't think I'd be that upset if I died. Like, you
definitely wouldn't be upset because you'd be dead.
Yeah, but the idea of dying soon, I don't think it wouldn't upset me terribly. Obviously it is. Like, nobody really wants to die unless your life's just super shitty. But I feel like I've accomplished a decent amount. So
yeah,
I
don't think people are afraid of being dead. They're afraid of
what that means.
They're afraid of what it means to die and then to not have lived a certain type of life or whatever. And then
you just gotta live the life you want to live, man. You gotta do stuff.
Yeah,
take care of yourself.
I watched a YouTube video and the gentleman on the other side of the video.
It wasn't an exchange.
It was like I was really searching for interactive experience, and then I went to YouTube and I realized they're not listening to me. But no, and he was talking about how like people who complain about their job or complain about their life, and they're always just blaming everybody for, like, oh, my boss just doesn't, see my value or whatever. And he was like, I just have one thing to tell you. You're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die whenever. It's going to happen.
Video.
Yeah. Yep. Did you watch that video?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times.
And it was a good video. It's a really interesting, you hear it every once in a while, but if you really do think about it, yeah, I'm going to die, so I might as well at least live life in a somewhat conscious and deliberate way.
Yeah.
So, I'm making decisions, I'm responsible, and I am choosing where to go and what to do and how to be. And I think
what he was talking
that's what
about.
You can do.
You have so many choices afforded to you, especially being like a white guy in America.
Yeah.
What a great deal. You have a bunch of opportunity. If it's not like, other countries, people don't have options really.
Less.
Yeah, a lot less. And so, there's places in the world that have just as many opportunities as here, but it's annoying when people, they just don't do anything and then they just whine about it the whole time. It's like, just find a fucking solution. What you sitting here whining about it's not gonna you can't go into work and like just sit there and whine and whine and whine. Your boss isn't gonna just be like, oh well, gosh, now that I know you feel that way, he's a promotion. They're just gonna be like, what are you fucking whining about?
Yeah.
Like, nobody really wants to hear somebody else whine about anything. Maybe a significant other, but even after that a while, they're probably like, okay, I get it, dude.
Yeah. Constant complaining just tends to be not taking responsibility because you are choosing to go to work every day, and we're not in, we're not in a dictatorship, so we do have some freedoms and some choices. And if you want to learn something new, go learn something new. If you want to get a different job, then take the work. And that's the thing is, it's actually hard to take responsibility if you want to do something difficult. You can't just it's not just given to you. You're not just just wake up and you're an adult and you have a job that you just love and all that stuff. So it takes some effort and some kind of self-discovery to figure out what you want to do. So I don't know, but I'm pretty happy about what I've been doing for the most part.
Yeah, I try not to take life for granted. Because we are all going to die someday, so...
Yeah, right?
I just don't want to be the guy laying on my deathbed being like, oh, I wish I would have done this, and this.
Yeah.
I think about that now. I'm just like, well, what do I want to do? Like, what?
Yeah.
So when I am inevitably in that situation, if I'm even lucky enough, maybe I'll just get my fucking head cut off in a car accident and I won't have to reflect on anything, but...
That sounds awesome. Yeah. I mean, for you, like, I want you to get your head chopped off. But no, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing is I think we grow... everyone just is always like... They have these lists, and they rely on experiences as an indicator of success. Like, oh, I've done this in my life. I'm just not sure if that's how that's not necessarily what I want to do. It's weird. Like, I try to think about it. Oh, do I want to travel? Do I want to, like, do this and that and learn that blah, blah, blah? Like, I don't really care about a lot of stuff. I don't get a lot out of, like, being able to tell people I've done this and that. Like, I'm not a storytelling kind of person. I don't feel like I am. Like, there are some people who I know that just tell stories about their experiences and their life, and they make it seem like they're, like, I don't know. Like, to me, those stories can be really awesome and have like a message to them or whatever, and like help you in some way. But a lot of times, like, I forget things I've done, and I forget stories, and I forget experiences. So I don't know if my main goal is to go somewhere.
So you're saying you don't want to live a grandiose lifestyle filled with adventure and danger?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't like adventure and danger. Like, oh gosh, let's just go backpacking with nothing and just see what happens. Like,
I couldn't do that. I'd be like, wait, what if
I
this
couldn't
happens,
do that?
and what if this happens? Like, why would we not take stuff with us to help us survive?
Stuff. Yeah,
I have
at least money.
We don't even have to go buy anything. There's stuff in my fridge.
Yeah.
Can we, like, take some water at least?
Yeah. I'm way too preppy.
I'm not like a carefree spirit.
No, I'm not.
I gotta plan everything out. So if I don't have, like, a strategy and an idea of what I'm doing, then I just feel very uncomfortable.
I'm also not particularly ambitious financially. Like, I've never been like I used to think that that's what I wanted. Like, I wanted to, like, have a ton of money.
That's what society wants you to think.
Well, I think everybody kind of like has that idea of, like, success is like a certain amount of money, and I think when you get to a certain amount of money, you can be less stressed out. You can afford your rent. You can live. You've got the basics covered, and then at that point, you'll find out if you really are ambitious or not. And I'm just not, like, I don't have, like, a job goal like that. I like I need to make this much money. I guess because, like, buying a house has never been a big deal to me. So I don't need the money to afford that. I've had the same car for, like, 12 years. It's paid off. I don't pay anything except for insurance on it. So I'm just like, I guess you can go high stress, busy, make a ton of money, have a ton of expensive stuff, or you can just kind of, like, just make it month to month. And I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
Well, you can't take it with you, so I mean.
Right, but if you have kids, then you can give it to them.
Yeah.
But if I don't have kids, and you don't have kids, then exactly, what is the point of gathering wealth?
Yeah. I don't even like collecting stuff, like, in my house.
Yeah, I'm kind of done.
Like,
doing
I used to do that when I was a kid. I'd, like, collect movies, and I'd like have a collection of video games. So I'm like, why I don't want any of it. Like, why?
Get rid of shit.
I just want to, like, enjoy it and then just move on to the next thing and just keep going. Like, I don't. But I don't even care about making, like, I just want enough money to live comfortably. Like, I don't want
to be independent.
I don't want, like, a mansion and, like, brand new cars and stuff. I just want to have, a car that runs well and is reliable and, like, a nice place to live, and then money to go do some fun stuff here and there that sounds exciting. Like, I don't know. I've never been that excited about having tons of money and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even, like, the lifestyle I lead now is pretty much about what I want to have. I mean, I have a little bit more debt than I want, but I think that's the case for just about everybody.
And you could get rid of that.
Yeah, and I mean, getting rid of it's just a matter of,
time.
time and just kind of sucking it up and not spending so much. But but yeah, I don't know. I've never been I'm not like people always talk about that, like they want to travel the world and check all these places. I'm just like, I don't really care. I'm sure it's pretty similar to here.
Yeah, I've been around the world, technically speaking. I've been to a lot of different places, and it was cool, and it was on somebody else's dime, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I mean, it'd be nice to go somewhere.
Yeah.
If I could teleport there, it would do it right now.
Right, yeah.
But
If you could just teleport there, just hang out for the day.
The
and then
fucking
leave.
pain of, like, planning and the cost involved, you know, all the actual, like, the practical
process
stuff
of, like,
about it.
getting there, you gotta pack shit up and then
Planes,
go to an
you're on an
airport.
airplane for like 10 hours. It's just fucking stupid.
And then you get there and you're just super exhausted
Yeah,
from
you might as well.
traveling.
You got to be there for a long enough time. I think spending maybe like a month in another country would be really fun because then you kind of live there.
Yeah.
And that's what I did in England. I lived there for 3 weeks in someone's house with a family.
It was like a foreign
It was an
exchange
exchange
program?
Yeah,
Cool.
it was awesome.
I always wanted to do that.
Super
And they were
fucking
never
cool.
available
Yeah.
where I went to school.
It was to the point where we were doing touristy things, but we were there so long for 3 weeks. I was with a group, and then like we had days where we would just like do what the kid did, like went to school with them, and or we would just go to the park and play soccer or whatever. You know, it was just cool to just hang out and live in that lifestyle for a while, and I did a lot of cool stuff there, but like I don't really have. Maybe it's because I don't have the money. I just don't, I just don't really care.
I don't know. I think it's just the person. There probably are a lot of people out there who just really want to like see all the cool shit out in the world.
Yeah. I think that, like, everyone knows they're going to die, so that's what they want to do with their life. Experiences are important to them. If experiences aren't important to me, then what the fuck is important to me? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't really care about, like, specific experiences, I think I just want to, like, live in the now, but also be thinking about, like, how to make myself better in the future. Like getting better at things and learning new things. But I don't know. What am I actually doing with my time?
I don't know. What's anybody doing with their time?
I don't know.
I mean, I think that a lot of people just they think that they want all these things because they're around like people, and we do live in a society where where people get stabbed, which is true
every day.
But no, we live in like in a society that like tells you that you need to have lots of money so you can afford all this cool stuff. But really, I think if people really thought about it, they don't really care about that stuff that much. You only care because it was sold to you and psychologically, with advertisements and people like like when I was growing up, everybody was always like, oh, do good in school so you can get a good job and have a lot of money. That was.
Yeah,
it's like that was like my whole motivation in school was just to do well so I could get that good job and have a lot of money. But you don't really think about if you even want any of that stuff that much. I mean, it's always nice, obviously, if you had a job that you enjoyed and you made a ton of money at it. Who wouldn't be happy doing that? I don't know anybody who doesn't like money.
Well, we all want to make the most amount of money with the least amount of stress. I think that's what the balance, and then how much education it takes to get there, or whatever. But
that's your life balance: stress versus money.
Yeah, for sure. And mine is pretty good right now. Ultimately, like I can make myself more stressed out than I need to be, but that's my own high standard of perfectionism. But I think a lot of times you grow up in consumerist commercialism, like it's a social thing. Like we see our friends have cool stuff, we see adults have cool stuff, everyone has cool stuff, and we want to be able to talk about cool stuff and have the cool stuff to be in a social, like to be socially bonded with everyone else who's got cool stuff,
So they might think that you're like a lesser person because you don't have the cool stuff. Right,
it's a status symbol too. So it's like almost a mark of your success in society to have a lot of cool stuff. And I think that that's why we all want to buy awesome stuff. It's the stuff in and of itself can bring enjoyment and entertainment, but then there's also that huge amount of like social cohesion that you get from having similar experiences, talking about products, having all that communication about all that stuff. And then there's also the idea that we have so much wealth in America that we can get away with not saving as much. We can get away, the economy is steady enough that we aren't seeing these. Well, I mean, some people have, and our economy goes up and down, but at the same time, for the most part, for the majority of people, I'm not worried that I'm going to lose my job. I'm not worried that I have to have, thousands of dollars saved up so I can get through the next depression. So we have this kind of, ease of lifestyle that makes it easy to just kind of buy stuff. And I don't save a ton when I should, but
yeah, that's the only thing that I ever.
It's a hard thing.
I'm just like, I've even started thinking about it now. I'm just
yeah.
Well, I need to start saving up for retirement. I'm like, already 25, which is still young, but you gotta do that shit
Start
for
now.
years.
Yeah.
And so,
well, I mean, you need lots of money if you don't go to work every day, and you start to be less viable at a job when you get older and older and older.
Yeah.
You're physically unable to do work, so and then if you don't have kids that are going to support you, let you live with them or whatever, or pay for your, you kind of have to, and then Social Security.
Just gotta take the kids that you would have, the money that you would have used to raise your kids, and just put it towards your future.
Yeah.
I was reading
you got one or the other, really.
Yeah.
Either
the
you have
study
kids
showed that it costs at least $250,000 to raise a child. That
was the lowest estimate that I saw. Yeah, for one kid.
So just take all that money and apply it towards your retirement if you're not gonna have kids.
Yeah. I mean, $250,000 at retirement is nothing. You wouldn't get that far with it. I mean, obviously, it would last you a long time, but
I think it depends. Yeah, it probably depends on
especially inflation. So I might have a certain amount of money now, but by the time I'm 60, that's not going to be worth nearly as much, unless there's deflation or something in economy. But that never happens.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not though.
I don't think so. Anyway. Speaking of life is short, let's talk about some words that don't accomplish anything.
Life, short words.
Let's learn some long, interesting, weird words.
Oh, mine's not that long actually. It's pretty.
Yeah, yours is short.
Pretty short and concise. It just has it just sounds cool. Has an interesting meaning. But my word is inutil.
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 Is it have to do with something that is uteral? Like the uterus?
No.
Is it is it a weird way, like an Ebonics way to say it's inutile? Like it's all up in your tile?
No. What? I'm really curious now. What's a scenario where you would say
you would be like,
it's all up in your towel?
Like somebody would be like, man, I just got this new towel, and then it's got black and gray, and it's got these little silver flakes, and then you'd be like, yeah, that's all up in your tile. No? Is that not?
It made me think of something that somebody would say if they just got a new tile in their kitchen, and then your fucking kid comes in with a knife and starts just cutting.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, that kid's getting all up in your towel.
Yeah. Oh man, don't let that kid. The little chilling's getting all up in your towel, dog.
But it's not.
Is it not?
No.
Okay, what is
Close
it?
enough. It means of no use or service.
So it's like futile.
Yeah, kind of.
Shit's like futile.
So inutile means that shit don't work no more. It's no use.
It's just no use.
I want them to put that on instead of out of service signs. They should put inutile signs.
Just
now.
This bathroom be all up inutile.
Just sitting on a
you could be
stall door. It's inutile.
Like a bad sexual experience, and you'd be like, man, that dude was all inutile. Inutal. Inutile. Man, my phone just turned off for no reason.
Uh-oh.
That's weird.
Oh, no.
Fucking
Oh, no.
weird.
You didn't need it, I hope.
I don't need my phone. I wrote down my word. Actually,
there we
weird
go.
timing.
But yeah, that's my word for the week. Inutile.
Sweet.
Inutile.
I-L-E.
It's actually literally spelled just how you would sound it out. It's kind of weird.
In a tile. What do you look for in a tile? Anyway, my word is absquatulate.
Absquatulate?
Absquatulate.
Is that
absquatulate.
Is that like the name for a workout where you're doing abs and squats at the same time? I'm just really absquatulating.
No.
You're just squatting and then you have to do a crunch and come back up.
It's a new invention I'm making up as the absquatulator. And it's like the one that you put in between your legs. What is that? hip flex, Bowflex. No,
The Bowflex is like a whole.
the
gym.
ab lounger. No, you have one of those.
I do.
What's that thing? This thigh.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called. I can't.
Thigh master.
Thigh master.
That's what it's
Is it
called.
thigh
I think
master?
It's called the thigh master. Because we gotta have fucking strong thighs, women out there. You
Yeah.
gotta be able to fucking choke somebody out like a fucking python.
It's true.
With your hard thighs.
I think that might be like a good deterrent to like rape if somebody was gonna rape you, and then you just got like really into it and like.
I think that's why you gotta have like crazy hard
Then
ass.
the guy would just be like, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then just
'Cause I feel like-
because he's not just holding you down.
Yeah.
And hasn't just beat the shit out of you because he's raping you. So you're good to go. I think that's why you have to have really good Kegel exercises. You know what Kegel exercises are? Mm-hmm. Okay. So that way, when they do rape you, you can break their dick with your
that'd be
vagina.
terrible.
And they're like, "Oh my god!" But usually Kegels like make sex better, so I don't think that's helpful. You're not gonna like. You don't want to incentivize.
I guess if you like are crazy powerful, it could be.
Yeah, like superhuman or something.
Anyway, that was a really dark, weird
Yeah.
conversation.
And not related to my
No,
word
no.
at all.
What does absquatulate
so
mean?
absquatulate it means to leave somewhere abruptly. So, like if
That's
you're a ninja,
awesome.
if you're a ninja, you were just
fuck, I'm gonna
absquatulating.
absquatulate this place. I'm out of here.
Absquatulate time. You know. That's awesome. I'm gonna absquatulate.
Could you? Just using your
Man,
ninja
that guy's
reference,
always absquatulating.
You're just like going in for ninja lessons, and the teacher's like, "Today we all learn to absquatulate."
Yes. You are number one absquatulate. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's oh man, that's such a cool word. I'm gonna remember that because that's something you could use almost
Yeah.
on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like when you're getting ready to leave work, see y'all later. I'm gonna absquatulate. and
Yeah,
then just
yeah.
bail out.
I'll absquatulate you later. Yeah, to leave somewhere abruptly, fastly.
Next time I deal with a rude customer that storms out, it's like, ugh,
Man.
that magniloquent guy really absquatulated out of here rapidly.
What's up in his tile?
I was inutile to that magniloquent gentleman, so he absquatulated. Boom. That's probably the most eloquent sentence I'll say all week.
It is verbose and verbosity.
Completely unnecessary. All I gotta say is, I wasn't able to help that angry guy, so he kind of just left.
Angry guy.